There we go. There we go.
And everything goes
How's it
to
keeping
shit.
look?
Yeah, that was my bad because my Wi-Fi
Understandable.
thingy disconnected because it ran out of battery.
Why don't you just make
But we should be good to go
one
now.
when you're able?
All right, cool.
Yay! All right. Welcome back.
We're back. We're back.
Everybody. Nobody's watching anyways, so no big deal.
It's fine.
Zach, what have you been up to?
Work.
Mm-hmm. This is the first time we've all been back together in a while, so
Yeah.
how about
No,
that?
I've been back and forth to Port Lavaca, and then next week I go back up to Delaware and Philly
Ooh.
for who knows how long.
Yeah.
So,
And then you get to see me in a week after, right?
well, yeah, you and I need to have a conversation about when the best time for that to happen is. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never good
but
when they
I
say
have
we need
gotten
to
the
have a
approval
conversation.
to go ahead.
Okay.
No, not bad. Just I may need to reschedule around Nathan's schedule because I think the headsets are uh less critical, so it might be
Yeah.
better to wait a minute while we roll the radio part out,
Right,
and then we'll
right.
bring that in later.
Work
So,
talk.
It looked like you grabbed that, looked at it, and then shook your head in approval. Like, yeah, this is good.
Very good.
Yeah. All right, so we should.
I had fried chicken and rice and gravy and cornbread for dinner, and it was very good.
Yeah.
Homemade fried chicken.
Love cornbread.
That's what he was doing instead of talking about
Super
Rings of
Mario Bros.
Power
Yeah.
and Harry Potter with us. Hello,
I am
Angela.
I'm assuming y'all talked about the HBO series.
Yes, we did. We did
I
briefly.
think I hope it's good. I hope it's good.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm like on the edge, I think, right now, just because of how things are going with everything right now. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
They didn't.
Oh,
they did Rings of Power.
Yes, we did talk about that actually. I don't know if you heard, but only 37% of people who watched season 1 actually finished it to the end, I think.
Oh. And that was a lot of just hate watching.
And that was like probably not that many people.
Hate watching.
That was me. That was us. Me and Nick. So.
I was a proud majority percentage holder. Proud.
Yeah.
That's rough.
But I don't know.
Speaking of shows that we're not going to finish, Mandalorian might be on that list.
Oh.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. Before we get there, we have one more thing. I don't know if we want to watch it, but I don't know if you guys have watched it. The Marvels trailer came out this week.
No,
Oh
I
my
did
God.
watch it.
I purposely avoided it. I purposely, yeah.
Yeah. This is how Brie Larson feels right now. Oof. Yeah. She was gonna get a
Can
second movie.
Hit the Seth Rogen. Hit the Seth Rogen.
Boo.
Boo, you suck.
Yes. And I gotta say, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with Brie Larson. It's very entertaining to keep up with Brie Larson.
Last I saw, she was in a car commercial.
She has a YouTube channel now apparently, but she got interviewed somewhere on some red carpet, and they're like, "Oh, how's Captain Marvel? Are you gonna be in another Captain Marvel movie?" And she had these like crazy eyes, and she's like, "I don't know. If they ask me back." I was like, "Whoa, whoa," and of course, this movie, it was going to be Captain Marvel 2. It was supposed to come out in 2021 or something like that. It got delayed. Then it became The Marvels. It was supposed to come out last year. It got delayed to end of last year. It got delayed to February of this year. Then it got delayed to summer of this year. And now it's been delayed to November of this year. Sounds to me like they're pushing it off because they know nobody's going to watch this movie. Also, you're relying on two characters that majority of your audience doesn't even know who they are because nobody even watches the Disney Plus shows. So, yeah. And gosh, this trailer, it was laugh worthy. honestly.
Mhm. It
I
was
wasn't
bad.
even mad. I was laughing at this trailer. So we won't watch it live, but just kind of wanted to mention it. It was pretty. This is gonna crash and burn, and I'm gonna be smiling. I'm gonna go see it.
Did-
I'm gonna go see it.
Cringeable mention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you
I
watch
already
the trailer
paid for
for
Disney.
the Peter Pan and Wendy
Yes,
Netflix one?
Yeah.
it's coming out April 28th. We're all gonna watch it.
Was the trailer
I'm
awful?
not a fan. I'm not a fan of making me want to hate myself.
Yeah.
What'd you say,
Yeah.
Zach?
I said, was the trailer horrible?
Yeah, we watched it live. Oh,
Was that
you
the one
weren't here. You weren't
wasn't
You
here.
weren't on that one.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
watched
Yeah.
it live on stream.
Last week?
No, it was like a month ago at this point.
Yeah, that
Oh.
was
Yeah.
the last time I was on.
But
Okay.
there might have been a new trailer since. I don't really know.
Well, or maybe it wasn't even, or maybe I just forgot. I don't know. Half the time I can't
Yeah.
keep my life straight, let alone my free time straight.
Well, it's
so.
also not a very memorable trailer, so
Was it the one where the Lost Boys are female?
yeah.
Okay,
She's like,
then
Yeah.
I did watch
we're the
it.
Lost Boys, every last one of us, and she's like, oh, but you're not
You're not a
all
boy."
boys, so
Okay,
So-
yes, I did watch it.
okay.
Oh,
Why'd you have to
fucking
make a
awful.
point of that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
in the
Hmm.
trailer.
Mhm.
So yeah, so let's get into it, guys.
How
We're-
Disney ruins
we're
everything.
here.
Yes.
We finally got to our Star Wars rant because last week, I'm going to share here.
that he used to
Mandalorian
give
here,
her the
people.
Darksaber even?
She saved him with it.
Oh, from that creepy thing in the tunnels?
Yeah.
What made him think to do that?
So okay, let me give you a recap of what I know. So here's a fun fact. I've never slept through a Mandalorian episode until last week. I fell
Nice.
asleep.
Nice.
And I'm not mad about it. You know? What I am
Mhm.
mad about is the fact they made the Mandalorian a joke. Like inherently. Like sure, you can pick and choose some things like, oh haha, that's a joke. No, they like made the show a joke with that single episode, and it pissed me off. Um, when you get someone so polarizing like Jack Black, like it's a joke. Like
Right.
he's a comedian.
And then add Lizzo on top of it, who is
I'll
also
get there.
polarizing.
I'll get there. But Jack Black, great actor. Loved him as Bowser. So I've got this conflicting thing in my heart where it's like I love Jack Black, but now it's like, do I actually? Because he just ruined the Mandalorian.
Peaches,
He's
great
peaches,
in
peaches,
Jumanji,
peaches,
too.
peaches.
Jumanji
Right.
is like one of my favorite Jack Black.
But he is like the
roles.
epitome of an actor just being himself in every
Yep.
movie that he's in.
Mhm.
And so you get a character or an actor like that and make him the cameo. I don't have a problem with celebrity cameos. I don't. Not at all. I loved that Bill Burr was the
Mhm. He
stormtrooper
was
in
great.
season 2. He was great.
was
He's a
fantastic.
comedian and he has some of his comedian personality, but he acted the part.
Yes.
The part wasn't him. And so with Jack Black, that's Jack Black. Like that's not the king of Praxis 15. That's Jack Black. And then you throw in a huge Lizzo.
Mhm.
That's a huge you know I'm going. So
Mhm.
you throw in Lizzo, and I'm not a big fan of Lizzo at all. And it just like doubled down on the joke of making
And
the
the
show
Baby
joke.
Yoda stuff too, yeah, man. It was
And the Baby Yoda stuff.
Tripled
So
down.
So I just wasn't a fan because it made it a joke, and that's the biggest problem I had, and it pissed me off because up until then, like the events of the Mandalorian are pretty serious. Like this is the
Mhm.
rebuilding of the Empire. Like this is a pretty serious time, and then you just blatantly make it a joke, and then also throw in a huge event of the trading of the Darksaber in this joke of an episode.
Yeah.
And you meet hundreds of other Mandalorians who are just chilling on this planet, and it's like I don't understand why you guys are doing this way. Like
Well,
why can't
why have Din practice with the Darksaber at the beginning of at the beginning of season 2?
was in Boba Fett. Yeah, Book of Boba Fett.
Or in Boba Fett. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Why have him
Yeah.
practice with it if you're just gonna make him give it away now? I just don't understand the disconnect there.
And the funny thing is, I wouldn't have minded if Bo-Katan had the Darksaber back at the end of season, what was that, season 2?
Right.
Like if she walked away with it, fine, whatever.
Fine.
That'd
she
be cool.
deserves it.
Yeah.
I honestly believe she deserves it.
Yeah.
I was a
I've
fan
seen
of
some
Mando
pretty
having it.
compelling arguments that she doesn't, considering she's lost power of Mandalore twice already.
That's a good point.
But if one Mandalorian in this universe at this point in time should have the Darksaber, it's her. Like regardless of what's happened in the past, she should have it. Like it got taken from her from Moff Gideon, which we find out in this week's episode that she gave it. I think she gave it to him for peace to stop the purge, but he still went through with the purge and betrayed her, which
Right.
I'm fine with that. Like she sacrificed for her people. It didn't work out for her. Fine. But that's how Moff Gideon gets the Darksaber, right? She's still technically by Mandalorian rule the owner of the Darksaber because she didn't lose it in combat,
She gave it.
but she
freely.
gave it away. So like
Yeah.
that's kind of the gray area there.
Right.
So I do think she deserves it.
But she
and
rejected it from Din trying to give it to her at the end of season 2.
right. So it shows that she still technically believes in the law of the Darksaber. So
But
it's
Din
kind of
got it. Din got it from Moff Gideon when Moff Gideon
Right.
didn't technically own it. So
Right.
really, she technically still owned it. It's like
And
the
I think-
Elder Wand.
Right.
And
so
yeah,
I
that's
think
exactly
this
what I thought too.
And so this is why
It's fine.
This is why at the end of the episode he's like, I can't have this because she saved me with it. And I think like that's the
The dark
loophole that
saber
he's using.
chooses the Mandalorian, Bo-Katan.
Okay, Ollivander. I think like that's their loophole to like get it back to her, not the writer's loophole necessarily, but like okay, this can make sense because technically she still owns it because she didn't lose it in combat. She gave it away. Jin didn't want it in combat, but technically not from its rightful owner. So the loophole is, oh, she saved me with it because technically, like I couldn't use it because
Which
Boba Fett.
Moff Gideon apparently can use it, and Bo-Katan can use it. Why can Din not use it? I don't understand why he can't use it.
I don't know. I don't know. So
Since when
that
has
is
a
one plot
lightsaber
hole.
ever
Because
acted
he's not
like that?
he's not a Jedi. It's like it's
No, but
different
like
from
we
Mandalorians, you know.
see,
The dark
like
saber is not a
Luke could
lightsaber
use a
technically.
lightsaber before he was technically a Jedi. You
But
know what
these
I'm
are all
saying?
those are force users. I mean, this is different.
Different.
It is. I see what
suppose.
you're saying. I see what you're saying. But my argument would be force users using a lightsaber. That's different than non-force users trying to use an artifact
I still
technically
don't
created by the
understand
force.
physically why you would not be able to use it unless it's got weight to it. But when have we ever seen a lightsaber described as heavy? You know what I'm
What?
getting at?
Yeah.
Well, the lightsaber, but the dark saber is not technically a lightsaber.
I guess there's that, but like again, it
That's
makes
the
zero
only
sense to me
thing I
that a
can say to that.
plasma weapon would get heavy
Right.
in somebody's hand.
I'll have to look in
The
deeper
closer
to
he
dark
gets to the
saber.
Empire, the heavier it gets.
Right. Like
Yeah.
I'll have to
the
look
One
into
Ring now too. It's the Elder One and the One Ring at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, I'll have to look into dark saber lore, but I do know the first Mandalorian Jedi is the one who created it. And I
Right.
don't know if there's something that he did to create the dark saber rule where it's like you have to win by combat, and that's why it was kind of like he couldn't use it, but that doesn't make sense why Moff Gideon could. So I don't know. Either way,
Right.
there's some hairy stuff
It
whichever way
is.
you look
It
at it.
is in the Knights of the Old Republic Dark Horse comic series. If you're interested.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's how she gets the dark saber back, and her quest is to reunite her people now that she has the dark saber, because I guess technically what they're trying to say is because she was part of the Children of the Watch, which is Mandalorian's tribe, or Din's tribe.
The children of the forest.
Yeah, technically she spent time with them. Not enough, in my opinion, for this to work, but I think what they're going for is she spent time with the Children of the Watch, got accustomed to what they do, but is a true Mandalorian and knows their way, and so she now has
So she
both
can take her
perspectives
mask,
to
her
unite.
helmet off now.
Right. So the
Yeah,
armor granted her
does
permission.
why is the armor like, yeah,
Because
it's
she
chill if
walks
takes her
both
helmet off.
worlds.
Yeah.
This is
It's like,
another.
you
She's
just
the woman
excommunicated
Mandalorian.
Din.
This is a fan theory. I don't know if I want it to happen or not. I'll get to it in a little bit with the armor. So basically, Bo-Katan can unite the people because she's got both perspectives. She grew up on Mandalore with the people, the Death Watch people, the factions who were fighting. She just spent time with the Children of the Watch. She has all the perspectives. Plus, Din gives her the dark saber. So now she's got everything going for her to unite the people and retake Mandalore. That's the idea.
Mythosaur.
And she saw the Mythosaur. So like that's the idea here. When she said that to the armorer granted her the ability to take her helmet off and not be rejected by the Children of the Watch, like outcast. Like she's out of the Children of the Watch, but they're not actively against her now. So that was what, because she's like, I saw the Mythosaur on Mandalore, and the armorer is like, well, then take your helmet off. And everybody's like, this is a trap. Don't do it. She does it, and then she's like, you walk both ways now. You must unite the people of Mandalore. And it's like, okay, it wasn't a trap. But anyway, that's kind of the idea of what's going on here. And they're not doing a good job of getting the idea across. That it's not coming across really well. I think the idea is okay to get there, but I don't like how they're getting there. The journey is not connecting to the end goal that they're setting up. Then the armorer theory is, in this episode, this is a big spoiler for you guys, just so you know. So if you want me to stop, just say. They go back to Mandalore. they meet old Mandalorians on Mandalore who are basically scavengers, but there's only like a handful of them. So they're still on Mandalore. They're loyal to Bo-Katan. They see her, they're like, we like you. They're friendly. They're injured though, and don't have resources they haven't scrounged up enough resources. So the armorer says, I will take them back to the fleet and give them med service, because they've got a light cruiser that they took from the Empire. They painted the mythosaur on it, so it's a Mandalorian
It's actually kind
light
of cool.
cruiser.
It is pretty
It's pretty cool. They've got a whole fleet now. Like, that's the scope of what happened with Jack Black and Lizzo, is they literally picked up hundreds of Mandalorians. Like, they have an
Just
entire
magically.
fleet and army. Yeah. Just
How'd they even find
Well-
the Jack Black Lizzo planet? Or
Bo-Katan, you know the 2 or 3 Mandalorians that were with Bo-Katan when she first showed up in Mandalorian?
yes,
They left her, and now it's just Bo-Katan. Well, they're with this group of Mandalorians.
got it. So they basically
that's the
let
connection.
her know, hey, here's where we're chilling.
Right. And they're basically mercenaries, the
Right.
Mandalorians
Yeah, I
that
did
they
hear
find.
that.
Yeah. So, anyways, the armorer takes the injured Mandalorian scavengers back to the fleet to get help with injuries and stuff. Well, when she leaves, they go into the Great Forge and they get ambushed by Moff Gideon and Dark Troopers in Beskar.
Because apparently there's an Empire outpost now on Mandalore.
In the Great Forge.
Yeah.
So Moff Gideon has been mining Beskar since his escape.
Oh, because
and
he
outfitting
saw how
his
effective it
dark-
was.
Yeah, and outfitting his Dark Troopers in Beskar, which honestly, they're kind of badass. Not gonna lie.
And
Like,
he's got like
Stormtroopers
this
are
like
really scary.
black Darth Maul Mandalorian suit.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's got like I don't know if you've seen Darth Maul Mandalorian suit from Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But he's got like the horns, but like Darth Maul style, not armorer style.
Right.
And it's actually pretty cool looking.
It is cool.
It's a cool suit. And basically he captures Din and doesn't kill him.
What is this? The 3rd or 4th time this season?
Honestly, this is my problem. It's like it's no longer about Din at all. He felt like a side character that entire
In his own-
episode.
like how Boba Fett was a side character in his own
Right.
show.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So it was all about
to
Bo.
reinforce the
yeah.
sidekick character, he literally pledges his life to Bo-Katan.
Right.
He says, I am in your service for the rest of my life.
Yeah, she has she has the Darksaber, and he's like basically running with all of them. He gets trapped out there, and then he gets taken. It's like, oh.
Yes. So
And
The
he
sad
gets
how
part
taken,
is-
Ben's-
not killed. This is
Yeah.
my huge problem with this. Like, plot armor to the max, plot Beskar armor to the max.
For real.
Din gets captured, okay, and they take him away. Then they start to gun down the rest of the Mandalorians, including Bo-Katan. And so Bo-Katan uses a Darksaber, cuts a hole in the
Blast door.
door to get out the back way and get back to the fleet. She lets everybody out, but Paz Vizsla
Mhm.
shuts another blast door. There's like 4 blast doors, like boom, 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 whatever.
Of course.
Closes
Focus
the
the blast
himself.
doors.
Also,
Open
there was a
closes
Phantom
himself.
Menace. There was a Phantom Menace reference in this episode too. Actually,
Really?
Oh, I missed it.
when
But
Moff Gideon's walking
basically-
down and all the lights do.
Oh yes,
Mm.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So basically shuts a blast door, containing Bo-Katan, and he himself is to take on all the Beskar Dark Troopers. So he sacrifices himself, and they kill him. They don't capture him.
He's dead.
But
Like,
they
it's like
captured it.
it's like
Yeah,
Right,
some
so, like,
some
this is like-
randos just come in and go kill him, and then he's dead, and then they walk away.
well,
It's
no,
like-
no. The Praetorian Guard is
Yeah.
here now, so this is pretty serious. So Moff Gideon now has 3 Praetorian guards. They take down Paz Vizsla, and he's dead. So they kill Paz. And the theory is the armorer knew that Moff Gideon was there, and so when they found out that they were going to the Great Forge and the Mandalorians on Mandalore knew where it was, the armorer said, "Oh, I'll take these people off because I know what's down there." That's the theory. I don't
That
know
she's a
how
bad
much
guy?
weight it holds. That she's been working with Moff Gideon,
I wouldn't
to either
be surprised,
to
honestly.
either
She's
progress
sus.
the children of the Watch, because I don't actually think she likes Bo-Katan. I don't actually think she does. I think she's playing her, to be honest. And I think the armorer wants the Children of the Watch to retake Mandalore, not Bo-Katan. So
Mhm.
that's the theory, that she knew what was going to happen,
But why
because
would
there's
she?
the
Why would
whole.
she let Din die then, and Paz Vizsla? Like
Well,
those,
maybe that's why they captured. Maybe that's why they captured Din.
but
I
not
don't know.
Paz,
I don't know.
because he's
Well,
always
because
been loyal to the armor. He's always been her right hand
Right.
man.
Yeah, and honestly,
So-
they focused on the armor a little too much while she was going back to the fleet,
flying back.
because there was
Yeah.
there was really no point to follow him back at all. And she's like bringing back
No.
the people. They're like, okay, and they were like zoomed in on her face. I'm like, this is
Her
weird.
helmet.
Her helmet, right?
Yeah.
So,
So
maybe she did. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think because there was the part where the X-wing pilot finds the shuttle that Moff Gideon escaped from, and there's
Yeah.
Beskar.
Right.
I
That was
don't know
creepy.
if that's the
That was creepy.
Beskar Dark Troopers, or if that's the Armorer Children of the Watch Beskar. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where this theory is
Yeah.
originating from.
Interesting.
So I don't know how much weight it has. I don't know if I necessarily like it or not.
So basically, the show's trash, is what I mean.
Well, right now it's not in a good state. I'm not gonna argue with that.
Fight.
I'm not gonna
fight.
argue.
It's not
fight.
good
After after the last episode pissed me off, last week's episode pissed me off. I'm more leaning towards that, but I think the idea of where they want to get is there, and it's just not the way to get there is not right. Like I'm cool having a Mandalorian Civil War because that's what Mandalorians have
Right.
done
They've
since
been
the beginning
doing
of
that,
time.
Yeah.
And so like this is on brand for them, but the way that they're doing it is not the way that, I don't know. They're just missing a lot of steps in the process.
Well,
of it,
that's the
and
thing
that's
is they're
how I
trying to
feel
set
about it.
these. This is potentially a story progression creep problem that you have with that Marvel setup. Honestly, DC has the same issue. Potentially Star Wars does too. They want the payoff of the Infinity Wars and the End Games without doing the groundwork of the first 20 movies.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like-
and I mean, it's a little different for Star Wars though, because there is no choice. We already know how it's gonna end.
Right.
It's a little different, but
Yes.
yeah, I agree. I think though the only reason I enjoyed this episode was the fact that we had some more like classic Mandalorian stuff going on. But when we have the end in sight, it's just kind of a bummer for me. So,
But
And-
not the same bummer that the prequels had. Like the prequels, you knew how it ended too, but it was
right,
still
but it was like
good.
yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And my problem with my problem with the Bad Batch, my only problem with the Bad Batch, and another problem that I have with the Mandalorian right now, is all of it is adding up to solidify the sequels.
Right.
Like that's the world that we live in right now. And so
Cloning.
Even the Bad
before
Batch?
the Celebration announcement, well, yeah, that I can't talk because, but the stuff that they're looking into, I think you're at this point, Nick. The stuff that they're looking into and finding out more with
in the Bad Batch.
in the Bad Batch with Crosshair, his storyline, with everything that they're going through with him, is
Okay.
leaning towards what Moff Gideon was doing with Baby Yoda, which eventually is what happens when we find a character who came back who shouldn't have come
Somehow
back.
Palpatine has returned.
Right.
Somehow
so all
Rey
of this
Palpatine has
is
returned.
leaning into how that was possible
Yeah.
and really
Got it.
like solidifying that this could have happened and it happened. Like this is why. I'm not a fan of that because I hate the sequels.
Yeah.
And then this was all before Star Wars Celebration doubled down with the Rey movie, but now it's just like, okay, now it's just confirmed that that's what you're doing. So
Right.
For me, at least I know how Star Wars crashes and burns. I have no idea how Marvel is gonna finally crash and burn at the end. So
So this was another good insight I found on Reddit. Someone said they also with the whole sequel trilogy and Rey Palpatine / Skywalker and all that, They set the precedent that decades of story building, character building, and world building can be undone whenever they want to make more money. The sequel
Yep.
trilogy informed us that our original heroes from the first 6 movies did not actually defeat the Empire, and it felt like such a kick in the face. We grew up
Yeah.
with 6 movies of varying quality, but with a unified message and goal: defeat the Sith, defeat the Empire, restore hope.
Yeah.
We quickly find out that instead, Luke did not succeed in returning the Jedi, nor did he spend his life as a beacon of hope for the galaxy. Leia did not succeed in building a principled government to replace the fascist empire. Han did not successfully put his smuggling past behind him enough to become a leader or a father. Anakin/Vader did not actually destroy Palpatine. They undid the accomplishments of the prequel trilogy, original trilogy heroes so they could reuse the core story structure but with a new cast. All my heroes are gone. We almost had some great new heroes, but the writers couldn't agree on a cohesive character journey for them. So, as compelling protagonists, they are kneecapped, and their respective actors have not had positive things to say about returning to the roles. But okay, now we're getting new films with Rey. Rey, who is the least compelling character because her journey throughout the 3 movies could be summarized as I am the main character, so I win. Daisy Ridley deserved a better written character, and the audiences who grew up with Star Wars deserved a better sequel trilogy. And then someone
Or
replied and was like, it's like in a sequel to Lord of the Rings, the ring was never destroyed and Sauron comes back. Or there's a Hunger Game trilogies and President Snow is alive, and when the government and then the government just starts the games all over again.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
And honestly, like looking back, like I enjoyed episode 7 just to see Star Wars again. But that should have been the first hint when it was a bigger, badder Death Star. You know, like
yeah,
that.
and that
Yeah.
very much so was a thing. People were like, "Oh my gosh, it's like new Star Wars," and it's like, yeah, it was kind of like a New Hope, but I'm sure they know what they're doing. It's we
Right.
saw Luke at the end, right, and then it's like Last Jedi. Holy
Okay.
crap! The
What?
Force Awakens
Yeah.
was like dribble.
Like
Boo,
that
boo, you suck.
Yeah,
that was the beginning of the end.
yeah.
Yeah.
I literally was like, "Are you joking?" out loud in the movie theater when he chucked it over his shoulder.
Yeah.
The Force Awakens was the blinding from the dark side that Yoda had when
Right.
Palpatine took
Yeah.
chancellorship. We were
Yeah.
blinded by the dark side with the Force Awakens,
Right.
and then
Mhm.
But don't
and
forget,
then it really got us killed.
this will begin to make things right.
Yeah,
No.
sure.
And what really pisses me off is like I was so excited when Dave Filoni got announced as creative director because of his work on the Clone Wars, because of what I had seen him do with Rebels, because I knew he loved the universe genuinely, and because of what he had been doing with The Mandalorian. I was fully in love with Dave Filoni. I still am. But I don't think that role that they gave him was what everybody thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And they put people
Kathleen
above
Kennedy
him.
runs the show.
Right. They put people above him, and they're like, yeah, you can be creative as long as it fits in our umbrella of diversity and what we want for Star Wars. Well, then he's not creative director.
Right.
He's just another creative guy that you're going to give 1 or 2 shows to, maybe a movie. And it's like, okay, finish up what you're doing, Dave. Disney's here to take over, right?
Yeah.
Like tie up the Clone Wars, tie up the Rebels, finish up Mandalorian, get your movie out. And then I wouldn't be surprised if they boot him. And
Yeah.
that's really sad because that's the last standing hope for Star Wars right now, who would carry on George Lucas's legacy. But he's going to be booted out by Disney. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah. Well, on that depressing note, I do need to head out.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we're
yeah.
basically done here.
I mean, we'll continue to come back to Star
There's-
Wars over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah. But just know, like, I am really upset that they made The Mandalorian a joke with a single episode, in my opinion. They made it a joke by 1 episode. And that just pisses me off. And so I was glad that they did something better with this next episode. But please don't make it a joke. Like,
Yeah.
it was so dumb. Even the lighting was different. I know I'm getting technical and we said we were going to end, but even the lighting was different in the episode. Like, it just pissed.
Yeah.
Yes.
It looked like the prequels,
Yeah,
but
it pissed me off.
worse quality. I don't know. It just
So, anyways, Star Wars, for me,
Awful.
took a dip the last 2 weeks.
But I think I might go see Return of the Jedi in theaters
Of course.
when it's back
You
in theaters
should.
for the
You
40th
should. You
anniversary.
should.
I think I'm gonna go do that and enjoy that.
So anyway, the beginning of the end for Star Wars, in my opinion. I'm sure you guys thought it happened way before, and it probably
Sequels.
did. But like this is like the point of no return for me, where it's like, okay, this is where we're going down. So
Definitely.
We'll be talking about Bad Batch very soon, probably in a few weeks. So Star Wars will be in more conversation. But yeah, so that concludes our episode tonight. Tyler and I might be streaming afterwards. I don't know. We'll see.
What's
If Tyler
streaming?
doesn't, I'll probably stream anyways. I don't know yet. Maybe Elden Ring,
talk
maybe
about it.
Diablo. We'll see.
When's the new Diablo come out?
June 6th, but I get it June 2nd, I think.
Okay, so pretty
So.
quick. Well, about a
Yeah,
month and a
pretty
half.
soon. Yeah. But yeah, so thanks. Well, nobody's really been listening, but thanks for those who catch the replay. Thanks for those who listen on audio.
and don't forget our audio listeners.
That's right. So give us a 5-star review. Give us a download. That helps us with the algorithm on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Join our Discord server. It's all located in our link tree in the description, and also on all our socials. If you don't follow us, we're Talking Nerds podcast or something like that.
At Talking Nerds.
At Talking Nerds,
Probably
yeah.
know that, Nathan.
I don't know, whatever. It's all
Talking Nerd
different.
podcast or something like
Instagram,
Something like
Twitter,
that.
Facebook. Just type in
yeah.
at Talking Nerds. You'll find us.
Check us out on Twitch. We're streaming video games all the time. Twitch.tv/talking_nerds. We're also on YouTube at Talking Nerds Podcast. And yeah, I think that's everything. But definitely join our Discord because I don't think anybody has really.
No.
And we of course love to talk throughout the week. So send us your hate mail on Discord.
There you go.
Also, we do have a Gmail.
Tell us why
too.
you think the Acolyte's going to be great,
That's right.
Yes.
and we'll
there
prove you
go.
wrong.
We do have a Gmail too, talkingnerdspodcast@gmail.com. So send us some emails
Yep.
if you have some hate mail.
If you're a boomer.
If you're a boomer. But yeah, we did it. Yay. We'll probably be back next week, and maybe the week
I should
after,
be
depending on Zach and I's schedule. So, but yeah.
I will be in Florida, so I won't be there.
Oh,
next
that's
week,
true.
but-
You won't be there.
I
But
will
going to
solo the
Florida?
show. I'll solo the show.
Yeah, that's right.
That sounds
Anyways.
fun. I want to go to Florida.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
I'm going to Hawaii in July.
I would love to go to
I'm
Hawaii
going to the
too.
UK next month.
I'd love to do anything that's fun. Except work. I'll pick any one of those places.
Hey, you got to go to the Hamptons.
Yep, and work 7 days a week for 12 hours a day.
You still got to go.
You got to look at rich people.
I got to go to
Yeah,
Vegas.
Not be one.
And that was
Yeah,
a blast.
Cricket,
Was it?
cricket,
It was not a
cricket,
blast.
cricket.
Oh, there you go.
Vegas sucked.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Alrighty.
thanks for listening,
Sounds
guys.
good.
My
Thanks for listening,
nerds.
guys.
See
We'll
you
catch you
later.
next